Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
We got you back. The Big East results tonight. What's your take on what happened this evening?
Yeah, so again, sorry about that, guys. We got a lot of wind here where I live. So St. John's and Butler, it was a play-out game for me. So Butler has now been in a downslide over these last few weeks. They're going to need to win the Big East tournament now to get into the NCAA tournament. And St. John's remains alive now. They still have a lot of work to do, though. They need wins over the field. And unfortunately for their sake, they only have two at the moment, and that's against Creighton and Providence. There are two more that are waiting in the wings for them in Villanova, who they beat twice. So for St. John's sake, they need Villanova to finish strong. And, some people might say, well, they're competing against each other for a bid. We're still far enough away where you don't need to worry about that right now. But St. John's, the committee looks at who have you beaten, teams in the field, where did you beat them? And right now, St. John's needs that. And their final two games are against DePaul and Georgetown, and that's not doing anything for them. So they still have a ways to go. They're going to need to win some games in the Big East tournament as well to really have a shot to get a bid.
Brad, what about Providence and Seton Hall? What about Providence and Seton Hall getting blown out tonight?
Not ideal. Both are still in the field. The problem with getting blown out, as you guys know, metrics are a big issue, are something that the committee focuses on. Now, the metrics that will hurt them, they're predictive metrics. So I think their seeds will take a hit, especially Seton Hall, who currently has the worst net of any at-large team. And typically, if you're a team that has the worst net of any at-large team, you're going to end up in Dayton. Now, they still have time to right the ship. They play at UConn next. We don't expect them to win that game, but it would be nice if, for their sake, if they can at least be competitive. And then down the stretch, they finish up with Villanova and DePaul. If they can win both of those games, they'll be in the NCAA tournament. If they lose to Nova and beat DePaul, they're not a lock. I still like their chances, but Dayton would be the likely scenario for them. And then in Providence's case, Providence finishes with Villanova at home, at Georgetown, and UConn. Honestly, I think they need to win two of those three games, and they will get into the NCAA tournament. But yeah, there's only a few games left, but so much can still happen.
Yeah, but Brad, I want to ask you how the committee is going to look at Providence, because I feel like there's three different kind of segments of their season, right? You have the point when you have Bryce Hopkins, and they look like a top 25 team, and they're 11-2 and 2-0 in the Big East. Then he gets hurt in the Seton Hall game, and they proceed to lose that, and three in a row after that. Then since they kind of figured out how they're going to play without him, they've won 7 out of 11, and now they're sitting here in a situation where they're kind of right there on the bubble, and it feels like we knew who they were beforehand. Now we know who they are now. They got this 4-game losing streak in the middle as they're kind of figuring it out. How do you take all of that into I feel like how do you evaluate all of that on the whole? How does the committee going to look at that?
Yeah, so I think there's clearly a large enough sample size since Bryce Hopkins got hurt, which was late December. And Providence has been able to get some quality wins since then. They beat Creighton, St. John's, who's a bubble team. But another key part, they have not picked up any key losses. So they're one of the bubble teams and one of the just few bubble teams that don't have any bad losses. And I think that's an extremely positive aspect of their resume. They still have a top 40 strength of record, which is pretty strong for a bubble team. Just like St. John's, their predictive metrics aren't great, which kind of puts them towards Dayton at the moment. But like you said, I think they're judged over the course of the last couple months. And now that being said, their wins with Bryce Hopkins, it's not like their wins over Wisconsin and Marquette don't count at all. They still count. I think the committee just wants to see that this team can be competitive enough. There have been a couple games where they've been blown out. Not ideal, but I think they've shown enough where they are still a quality team that should be in the field.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.